Suppose I reveal that some of your favorite actors are not as likable as they appear on screen. Iconic stars such as Alfred Hitchcock and Gene Kelly were notorious for their difficult off-screen personalities, which starkly contrasted with their on-screen charm. This list exposes 20 beloved actors who were surprisingly unpleasant behind the scenes, starting with none other than Alfred Hitchcock. Sir Alfred Hitchcock, a legendary English film director, is celebrated as one of the most significant influencers in cinema history. He launched his career as a title card designer and made his directorial debut in 1925 with The Pleasure Garden. Hitchcock was known for his indifference towards actors, infamously suggesting that actors should be treated like cattle. His interactions with female actors were often contentious, and his obsessive behavior towards his leading ladies is well documented. On the set of The 39 Steps, for example, he notoriously left Madeleine Carroll handcuffed to her co-star for hours, allegedly misplacing the key, which resulted in her sustaining bruises. His 1963 film, The Birds, was critically acclaimed, yet its star, Tippi Hedren, accused Hitchcock of being a cruel man who sexually harassed her and threatened her career when she resisted his advances. His fixation on Hedren led to more severe actions. After she rejected him, he replaced mechanical birds with real ones during filming, which resulted in injuries that required hospitalization. He also drafted a controlling contract that demanded her availability to him and allowed him to reject numerous film roles on her behalf, severely damaging her career. Next, we have Milton Berle, a significant figure in American entertainment, whose legacy is as colorful as it is controversial, particularly regarding his behavior offset. Despite his immense popularity on television, Berle was known for his sometimes unprofessional behavior and challenging personality. A notable incident occurred during his guest hosting stint on Saturday Night Live, where Berle clashed with the show's director and crew. He ignored directions, frequently played to the camera, and improvised jokes directly to the audience, disrupting the flow of the live broadcast. His unsolicited direction to stagehands and the lighting crew further strained relations backstage, as his ideas conflicted with the show's established comedic content and structure. Beyond his behavior on Saturday Night Live, Berle garnered a reputation for borrowing jokes and comic routines from other comedians, a practice that was more accepted in the early days of comedy, but increasingly frowned upon as the industry evolved and originality became prized. Despite his challenges in radio, where none of his programs lasted more than a year, Berle's career spanned an astonishing 80 years. He began as a child actor in silent films and on stage, transitioning through radio, movies, and ultimately television. His crowning achievement was as the host of NBC's Texaco Star Theater, where he became the first major television star in America, earning monikers like Uncle Milty and Mr. Television during the medium's first golden age. Berle's impact on entertainment was substantial, acknowledged by 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, one for his contributions to radio and another for his pioneering work in television. Continuing with Frank Faye, born Francis Anthony Donner on November 17, 1891, in San Francisco, California, he was an American vaudeville comedian and film and stage actor whose contributions to stand-up comedy established him as a significant pioneer in the field. Faye gained considerable fame as a variety artist starting around 1918. His unique style involved delivering jokes and stories in a carefully planned off-the-cuff manner, which was innovative at the time. His timing and delivery were highly praised, and he became one of the most analyzed comedians of his era. In the 1920s, Faye reached the pinnacle of vaudeville success, earning an impressive $17,500 per week as the highest-paid headliner. However, his abrasive personality and fascist political views contributed to his eventual decline and obscurity. Despite his talent, Faye offended many colleagues due to his enormous ego. His personal life was marked by bigotry and alcoholism. Even when sober, he was dismissive and unpleasant, earning the dislike of most contemporaries. Former vaudevillian Fred Allen humorously quipped, "The last time I saw him, he was walking down Lover's Lane, holding his own hand." Actor Robert Wagner described Faye as one of the most dreadful men in show business, citing his alcoholism, anti-Semitism, and abusive behavior towards Stanwyck. Comedian Milton Berle, who was Jewish, claimed to have once hit Faye with a stage race after Faye made an offensive remark about him. Frank Faye's legacy remains complex. A talented comedian who left a lasting impact, but also faced personal demons and strained relationships with those around him. Next, we discuss William Frawley, a seasoned and successful working actor whose career spanned decades and was known not only for his talent, but also for his notoriously difficult personality offset. His demeanor was characterized as crabby, gruff, and often misanthropic, making him a challenging colleague for actors, directors, and producers alike. Frawley's reputation for volatility dated back to his early career. In 1928, he was fired from the Broadway show That's My Baby for physically assaulting his co-star Clifton Webb, a move that underscored his quick temper and difficult nature. Alcoholism also plagued Frawley throughout his life, significantly impacting his reliability and professionalism on set. His dependency on alcohol occasionally led to erratic behavior and strained relationships with those around him. Despite these personal challenges, Frawley found enduring fame when Lucille Ball approached him for the role of Fred Mertz in her groundbreaking television series, I Love Lucy, in 1951. Desi Arnaz, Ball's husband and co-star, laid down strict guidelines for Frawley, including a 3-strike rule with escalating consequences for any mistakes or unprofessional behavior. Despite being 64 years old, divorced, and facing a downturn in his film career, Frawley agreed to these terms and maintained a level of professionalism that surprised many, enduring through the 9-year run of I Love Lucy and its subsequent spin-offs like the Lucy Deasy Comedy Hour. Ironically, Frawley's on-screen chemistry with his co-star Vivian Vance, who portrayed Ethel Mertz, was legendary. Despite their real-life animosity, their constant banter and comedic timing elevated their characters' interactions, adding depth and humor to the show. Tragically, William Frawley passed away on March 3, 1966, from a heart attack while walking home from a movie. Behind the personas they portray on screen, their off-screen jerky tendencies resonate loudly. Another actor known to be a jerk was Gene Kelly. Celebrated for his contributions to post-war American optimism, Gene Kelly remains a legendary figure in the entertainment industry. His talents as a singer, dancer, and all-around performer are well documented. However, beneath the spotlight, Kelly had his share of flaws. During the production of the beloved musical Singing in the Rain, Kelly allegedly intimidated his co-star Debbie Reynolds, who was just 19 years old at the time. In rehearsal rooms, Kelly was rumored to be a demanding taskmaster. His punishing work hours and intricate choreography posed challenges even for seasoned dancers. Offset, Kelly exhibited insecurity, temperamental behavior, and competitiveness. His relationships with younger women were well known, and his paternalistic tendencies sometimes made him an overbearing partner. His relentless drive strained both personal and professional connections. Actress Esther Williams, who worked with Kelly on Take Me Out to the Ball Game, described her experience as pure misery. Kelly's irritation over his taller co-star led to uncomfortable moments. He even made Williams slouch during scenes. Williams famously quipped, "He was a jerk, but he could dance." In the end, Kelly's remarkable talent coexisted with a darker side, leaving a complex legacy in the hearts of those who collaborated with him. Next, we have Rudy Vallee, celebrated for his versatile talents as a saxophonist, singer, and bandleader who had a complex and often turbulent demeanor off-stage. Despite his popularity on the radio and in early cinema, his behavior behind the scenes revealed a darker side of his personality. During his tenure hosting the Fleischmann's Yeast Hour in the 1920s and 30s, Vallee gained a reputation for his explosive temper and volatile attitude. His ego-driven behavior frequently clashed with his colleagues, leading to confrontations that sometimes turned physical. He wasn't shy about engaging in fistfights, whether with photographers, pianists, or even audience hecklers who crossed him during live broadcasts. Behind the scenes, Vallee's treatment of his staff was notorious. He was known as a demanding and harsh taskmaster, earning him the unflattering label of a slave driver. He would often berate members of his orchestra with mean-spirited remarks and foul language, creating a tense and unpleasant working environment. Despite these interpersonal challenges, Vallee wielded significant influence in the entertainment industry. Beyond his own performances, he played a pivotal role in launching the careers of several notable singers, including Alice Faye and Frances Langford. Initially recognized for his romantic lead roles in early Hollywood films, he later diversified into comedic and more serious roles on Broadway, showcasing his range as a performer. His talent and achievements are juxtaposed with a temperament that often strained relationships and overshadowed his professional success. Even female actors weren't left out of this list. Next up is Lucille Ball, celebrated for her iconic roles as a funny and down-to-earth character. Lucille Ball had a complex persona beyond the camera lens. While her performances delighted audiences, her off-screen behavior revealed a different side. Despite her beloved image, Ball was notoriously rude to those who didn't share her celebrity status. On one occasion during a flight, she completely ignored a flight attendant, relying on her assistant to convey, "Miss Ball doesn't speak to the help." Richard Burton, known for his candid diaries, expressed strong feelings about Ball. He described her as a monster of staggering charmlessness with a monumental lack of humor. Burton believed she lived solely off her long-running weekly show, which she successfully maintained for 19 years. Her relentless pursuit of laughs, double takes, and desperate upstaging left an impression on him. In the end, Lucille Ball's legacy remains multifaceted, a talented performer with both adoring fans and detractors. Number 8 is Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen, the legendary actor known for his tough guy persona, fast cars, and daring stunts, led a life as intense as the characters he portrayed on screen. However, behind the glamour, McQueen's personal life and behavior were far from admirable. McQueen's childhood was marked by abandonment, abuse, and criminal involvement. Raised by his uncle after being abandoned by both parents, he endured child abuse at the hands of his stepfather. His troubled past doesn't excuse his later behavior. During film production, McQueen made questionable career choices, turning down roles that became iconic for other actors. In The Towering Inferno, he squabbled over billing with Paul Newman, another leading man of the time. McQueen's competitiveness extended beyond acting. He even counted lines in the film to ensure equity. His jealousy surfaced when his neighbor James Garner starred in Grand Prix. He responded by urinating on Garner's balcony. On set, he clashed with director Sam Peckinpah during The Getaway production. Minor issues, including wardrobe and screen time, led him to disrupt film shoots. In retrospect, McQueen's life mirrored the troubled characters he portrayed, revealing a complex and less admirable side beneath the Hollywood glamour. Number 9 is Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin, the iconic comedian and filmmaker of the early 20th century, left a legacy that extended beyond his slapstick performances. However, behind the scenes, Chaplin's life was far from the wholesome image he projected. Chaplin married 4 times, including 2 unions with teenage girls, Mildred Harris, 16 years old, and Lyda Gray, 15 years old. His last 2 wives, Paulette Goddard and Una O'Neill, were significantly younger than him, fueling suspicions about his preferences. In the 1950s, Chaplin faced political scrutiny and was banned from re-entering the U.S. unless he complied with investigations. He chose exile in Switzerland, which reinforced the perception that he was anti-American due to his socialist politics and left-wing associations. Several women accused Chaplin of inappropriate behavior, sexual assault, and even pedophilia. Joan Barry's serious allegations led to high-profile court cases in the 1940s, tarnishing Chaplin's reputation. In retrospect, Chaplin's public persona masked a darker reality, one that included troubled relationships, legal battles, and disturbing accusations. Next up is none other than Errol Flynn. The dashing Errol Flynn was one of Hollywood's most beloved stars in the 1930s and 1940s, known for his stunning looks and infectious charisma. Flynn was among the highest-paid actors of his time. While his roles in swashbuckling adventures thrilled audiences, his off-screen antics also garnered significant attention. By the late 1950s, however, Flynn's wild lifestyle and poor financial decisions had left him in ruin. Born in Tasmania in 1909, Flynn struggled with academics, preferring athletics, and was expelled from several prestigious schools. At 15, he found work as a shipping clerk, leading to a series of varied jobs, including sailor, prospector, writer, and tobacco plantation manager. Acting wasn't on his radar until 1933, when an Australian film producer, impressed by Flynn's photo, cast him in the low-budget docudrama In the Wake of the Bounty. The following year, Flynn moved to London to pursue acting. He landed a contract with Warner Brothers, initially getting bit parts until his big break came when Robert Donat dropped out of the lead role in Captain Blood. This role catapulted him to stardom, leading to hits such as The Adventures of Robin Hood, The Charge of the Light Brigade, and Dodge City. Flynn married actress Lily Demita, and they had one son, Sean. Sean Flynn also became an actor before switching to journalism. Tragically, Sean disappeared in Cambodia in 1970 while covering the Vietnam War and was presumed dead. Despite his marriage and family, Flynn's wild behavior persisted, keeping the studio's damage control team busy. He was charged with statutory rape involving 2 teenage girls. Despite the serious charges, Flynn emerged not only unscathed but more popular than ever, inspiring the slang phrase, "in like Flynn." He divorced Demita that same year. Flynn starred in The Adventures of Don Juan, but his hard living had taken its toll. His behavior became erratic, and he experienced short-term memory loss. After divorcing his second wife, Nora Eddington, Flynn married Patrice Wimore in 1950. Financial success eluded him, and by the mid-1950s, he had lost his entire fortune. Attempting to create a film about William Tell, Flynn's decline was as dramatic as his rise. His once athletic physique became bloated due to years of alcohol and drug abuse, which also contributed to his erratic behavior on set. His excessive lifestyle extended to financial mismanagement, leading to multiple bankruptcies. Flynn's inability to manage his finances was exacerbated by his penchant for luxurious living and his investments in failed business ventures. Despite his personal troubles, Flynn's talent and screen presence never waned. His ability to charm audiences and deliver memorable performances kept him in demand even as his health and finances deteriorated. Flynn's contributions to cinema, particularly in the adventure genre, remain influential. His portrayal of Robin Hood is still considered one of the definitive interpretations of the character. Unfortunately, some of these actors took their bad behavior to the grave without facing repercussions. Number 11 is Kirk Douglas. Kirk Douglas, a multifaceted figure in Hollywood, left a legacy that intertwines both heroism and controversy. During the McCarthy era, Douglas stood up for Dalton Trumbo and the Hollywood 10, who faced persecution for their political beliefs. His advocacy for political freedom clashed with the oppressive climate of the time. Natalie Wood, a rising star, allegedly suffered sexual assault at the hands of Douglas when she was just 16. Wood kept her abuser's name secret, but her sister Lena later pointed to Douglas as the perpetrator. Unfortunately, Wood never received justice due to the power dynamics in Hollywood. Douglas was a self-admitted womanizer, using his status and influence to engage in affairs with starlets. Jean Spangler, another starlet, disappeared in 1949. Her connection to Douglas remains mysterious, with a note mentioning him found in her purse. The studio system often protected A-list actors, allowing them to escape consequences for their actions. His status likely shielded him from deeper scrutiny in the Spangler case. The cycle of money, privilege, and scandal persists, favoring powerful men over justice for victims. After Douglas's death, he was buried in Westwood Memorial Park. His grave marker, awkwardly placed, reflects his lifelong pursuit of top billing, even in death. Next up is Sean Connery. Sean Connery, forever etched in cinematic history as the original James Bond and renowned for his magnetic screen presence, also became a figure of controversy due to his off-screen demeanor and outspoken views. Connery's embodiment of James Bond, a character synonymous with charm and womanizing, appeared to bleed into his personal beliefs, which were often at odds with modern sensibilities. One of his most infamous statements, made to Playboy in 1965, ignited widespread criticism when he remarked, "I don't think there is anything particularly wrong with hitting a woman." This shocking assertion was further compounded by his chilling justification that an open-handed slap is justified if all other alternatives fail. These remarks reverberated across media and public discourse, revealing a disturbing acceptance of domestic violence from someone idolized by millions. Despite the societal progress and changing attitudes towards gender relations over the years, Connery showed little inclination to retract or amend his views. In a later interview with Barbara Walters, he remained steadfast, asserting bluntly, "I haven't changed my opinion." Beyond his contentious statements on gender, Connery's reputation for being difficult to work with also permeated Hollywood circles. Stories of his strong-willed nature and occasional clashes with directors and co-stars became part of his off-screen legend, contrasting sharply with his charismatic on-screen persona. Nevertheless, Sean Connery's cinematic legacy endures through his iconic roles, including memorable performances in films like The Hunt for Red October and The Untouchables. Yet, alongside his contributions to cinema, his legacy is indelibly marked by the controversy surrounding his personal beliefs and the impact of his outspoken statements on issues of gender and violence. Number 13 is Kiefer Sutherland. Kiefer Sutherland, a versatile actor renowned for his roles in blockbuster films such as Stand By Me, Young Guns, and A Few Good Men, and for his Emmy-winning portrayal of Jack Bauer on the hit series 24, has left a mixed impression on those who have worked closely with him in Hollywood. While his talent is undeniable, his conduct off-screen has occasionally sparked controversy and criticism. In 2014, Kiefer Sutherland's former 24 co-star Freddie Prinze Jr. openly aired his grievances, revealing to ABC News that he despised his time on the show and even contemplated quitting acting due to his experiences with Sutherland. Prinze Jr. did not mince words, describing Sutherland as the most unprofessional dude in the world and asserting that his sentiments were widely shared among others who had collaborated with him. Further adding to the discourse, Shohreh Aghdashloo, who played a pivotal role as a terrorist on 24 in 2005, voiced her own dissatisfaction with working alongside Kiefer Sutherland in an interview with Fox News. Aghdashloo candidly expressed that her interactions with Sutherland were challenging, noting his apparent anger and hinting that their on-set disagreements may have influenced the abrupt termination of her character's storyline. These accounts shed light on a side of Kiefer Sutherland that contrasts with his on-screen charisma and professional achievements. While he continues to be celebrated for his acting prowess and contributions to television and cinema, the reports of discord behind the scenes serve as a reminder of the complexities and interpersonal dynamics that can accompany success in the entertainment industry. Number 14 is Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones, undeniably a powerhouse of talent, carved out a remarkable career in the 1990s with standout performances in films like JFK, Natural Born Killers, Men in Black, and The Fugitive, for which he earned an Academy Award. His presence on screen is commanding, and his acting prowess is unquestionable. Yet off-screen, Jones has garnered a reputation that isn't always as glowing. Known for his aloofness towards fans, Jones has been criticized for his indifference when approached for autographs or photos, often ignoring requests altogether. His demeanor extends to press engagements, where he has been observed snapping at interviewers or turning their questions back on them, creating uncomfortable moments. One infamous incident that encapsulates Jones's blunt demeanor occurred during the filming of Batman Forever, co-starring with Jim Carrey. Jones reportedly expressed outright disdain for Carrey's comedic antics on set, bluntly informing him that he hated him and couldn't tolerate his buffoonery. Despite the tension, Carrey handled the situation with grace, and they managed to work together professionally, albeit with a palpable strain between them. While Tommy Lee Jones remains celebrated for his acting prowess and contributions to cinema, his off-screen demeanor has occasionally overshadowed his talents. Some of these actors are still living but serve as prime examples of jerky behavior in the industry. Faye Dunaway tops the list on this one. Faye Dunaway, the acclaimed actress known for her roles in classic films such as Bonnie and Clyde, Chinatown, and Network, has had a history of reported difficult behavior on and off set. Dunaway was reportedly fired from the Broadway-bound play Tea at 5 after allegedly creating a dangerous environment, slapping crew members, and throwing objects at them. Rutannia Alda, who co-starred with Dunaway in Mommy Dearest, claimed that Dunaway slapped her hard and for real during filming instead of performing a stage slap. Additionally, Dunaway had unusual habits, such as urinating into trash cans and not flushing toilets in her dressing room, leading to multiple resignations from the Teamsters called in to clean up. She threw a cup of urine at director Roman Polanski when he asked her to wait for a bathroom break. In a recent HBO documentary, she opened up about her diagnosis of bipolar disorder, which she believes contributed to her erratic behavior. She expressed responsibility for her actions and discussed the importance of managing the condition. Dunaway's reputation for being difficult extended beyond isolated incidents. On the set of Chinatown, she was known for clashing with director Roman Polanski. Their working relationship was fraught with tension, culminating in the infamous incident where she threw a cup of urine at him. This altercation arose after Polanski refused to allow her a bathroom break during a long day of shooting, highlighting the volatile nature of their interaction. Her behavior on the set of Mommy Dearest also garnered significant attention. Her intense portrayal of Joan Crawford was mirrored by her intense off-screen demeanor. Crew members reported that Dunaway's commitment to the role sometimes crossed the line into real-life aggression, such as the incident with Rutannia Alda. Her method acting approach often made her difficult to work with, as she stayed in character even when the cameras were not rolling, creating a tense atmosphere on set. Dunaway's off-screen behavior has also been a subject of controversy. Reports of her demanding and abrasive nature have circulated for years, with many co-stars and crew members recounting their difficult experiences working with her. Her unpredictable behavior, coupled with her insistence on perfection, often led to clashes with directors and co-stars alike. Despite these controversies, Dunaway's talent and contributions to cinema remain undeniable. Her performances in some of the most iconic films of the 20th century have left a lasting legacy. Next up is Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal's reputation offset has been marred by numerous reports and accusations detailing his abrasive and inappropriate behavior, painting a picture of a Hollywood star with a deeply problematic attitude. One notable incident involved his altercation with John Leguizamo during the filming of Executive Decision. Seagal reportedly physically confronted Leguizamo, pushing him against a brick wall and causing him distress over a perceived slight. This incident exemplifies Seagal's propensity for aggression and his willingness to use physical intimidation to assert dominance. Furthermore, Seagal has faced multiple allegations of harassment and misconduct from actresses he worked with. Jenny McCarthy, during her audition for Under Siege 2: Dark Territory, claimed that Seagal made inappropriate demands, including asking her to remove her dress, despite no relevance seen in the script. This incident highlights Seagal's abuse of power in audition settings, where aspiring actresses are vulnerable and seeking opportunities. Similar accusations have been made by other actresses, such as Portia de Rossi, Regina Simons, and Juliana Margulies. Margulies recounted an alarming incident where Seagal allegedly brought a gun to a private audition, creating a threatening and unsafe environment. These allegations paint a disturbing pattern of Seagal exploiting his position of authority to engage in inappropriate and potentially dangerous behavior towards women in the industry. Beyond these specific incidents, Seagal's overall reputation offset has been characterized by reports of arrogance, egoism, and a disregard for professional norms. His interactions with colleagues and crew members have often been described as demanding and dismissive, reflecting a lack of respect for others and a sense of entitlement rooted in his Hollywood status. Despite these controversies, Seagal's films from the 1990s continue to be enjoyed by fans of action cinema, though his personal conduct has undoubtedly overshadowed his on-screen persona. For some of these actors, justice caught up with them, and they paid dearly. One such example is Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer's reputation for being difficult to work with extends beyond mere anecdotes, painting a troubling picture of his behavior, both on and off film sets. Throughout his career, director Joel Schumacher, who worked with Kilmer on Batman Forever, famously described him as childish and impossible. These patterns of behavior, where Kilmer's temperament and attitude interfered with the production process, caused friction among cast and crew members. Another damning assessment came from director John Frankenheimer, who directed Kilmer in The Island of Dr. Moreau. Frankenheimer bluntly stated his disdain for Kilmer, criticizing not only his professional work ethic, but also expressing a personal aversion to working with him again. One of the most disturbing incidents associated with Kilmer's offset behavior was recounted by actress Caitlin O'Heaney, who alleged that during the pre-production of The Doors, Kilmer physically assaulted her. O'Heaney claimed that Kilmer unexpectedly hit her in the face and threw her to the ground during an audition. The presence of director Oliver Stone, who allegedly did nothing to intervene and even laughed during the incident, adds another layer of distress to the situation. O'Heaney's assertion that she received a settlement of $24,500 to keep quiet about the incident underscores the seriousness of the allegations and suggests a disturbing misuse of power. His confrontational and allegedly violent interactions with colleagues, combined with accounts of a contentious work ethic, have contributed to a reputation that overshadows his talents as an actor. Despite his notable performances on screen, Kilmer's offset demeanor has left a lasting and problematic legacy within the film industry. Number 18 is Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes, once hailed as a charismatic and versatile leading man in the 1990s, saw his reputation tarnished by reports of difficult behavior and controversy, particularly during the filming of Blade: Trinity in 2004. Snipes' demeanor on set during Blade: Trinity was described as increasingly erratic and confrontational. According to co-star Patton Oswalt, Snipes refused to communicate directly with director David S. Goyer, instead opting to relay messages via post-it notes signed Blade. Moreover, Oswalt detailed instances where Snipes exhibited demanding and bizarre behavior, such as refusing to emerge from his trailer until he was allegedly properly stoned. This behavior not only disrupted the production schedule, but also underscored a disregard for professional norms and responsibilities. The situation escalated to a concerning level when Snipes reportedly attempted to physically assault Goyer on set. Oswalt recounted an incident where Snipes allegedly tried to strangle Goyer, highlighting a dangerous escalation of tensions that compromised the working environment and safety on set. Beyond his behavior during filming, Snipes' reputation took another hit with his legal troubles. In 2010, he served a prison sentence for tax evasion, which further damaged his public image and career momentum. Despite these challenges, Snipes' earlier contributions to cinema continue to be remembered fondly by audiences. But his later career has been marred by the fallout from these controversies and his reputation as a difficult personality offset. For others, despite being everyone's favorite, they tarnish their reputation with their bad behavior. Next up is no other than Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan, once celebrated as America's sweetheart before the rise of Julia Roberts or Jennifer Lawrence, captivated audiences with her infectious charm and comedic prowess in iconic films like Sleepless in Seattle, French Kiss, and You've Got Mail. She effortlessly transitioned between genres, showcasing her acting range in dramatic roles such as The Doors and Courage Under Fire. However, as the 2000s dawned, Meg Ryan faced a tumultuous period that tarnished her once golden image. The turning point came during the filming of Proof of Life in 2000, when her affair with co-star Russell Crowe erupted into a scandal, resulting in the end of her marriage to Dennis Quaid. This tabloid fodder not only shook her personal life, but also cast a shadow over her professional career. In subsequent years, Ryan's star power waned, and she struggled to reclaim her status as a leading lady of Hollywood. Infrequent appearances, such as her role in the 2008 remake of The Women, were marred by reports of her demanding special treatment and clashing with cast and crew members. This behavior hinted at a shift from her once bubbly and approachable persona to one marked by occasional displays of entitlement and discord. The last on the list is the renowned child actor Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay Culkin's early fame in Hollywood as a child star with the Home Alone movies catapulted him into the limelight at a tender age. But as he transitioned into adolescence and adulthood, his public image began to shift due to various incidents that painted him in a less flattering light. Reports and anecdotes from fans and industry insiders alike have portrayed Culkin as exhibiting an arrogant and dismissive attitude, particularly in interviews and interactions with his admirers. One notable incident occurred on the set of the 2004 film Saved, where fans sought his autograph. Instead of engaging with them, Culkin reportedly ignored the group, pretending to be preoccupied with his cell phone until prompted by a comment about his attractiveness. Beyond his demeanor, Culkin has also faced scrutiny regarding his personal life, including ties to illegal substances, which contributed to a perception of him as rebellious and unpredictable, contrasting sharply with his earlier wholesome image from his child star days. Recently, however, there have been glimpses of a more positive trajectory for Culkin. Observers noted a healthier and happier appearance at the beginning of the new year, hinting at a potential turnaround in his personal and professional life. Whether these signals a genuine shift in attitude and behavior remains to be seen. But it offers hope that Culkin may be navigating toward a more positive and constructive phase in his career and public persona. For more intriguing stories about Hollywood celebrities, be sure to hit subscribe. See you in the next one.